Entering the world of direct investing can be exciting and intimidating, especially when you're coming from a background of operating and managing businesses. One of the hardest changes to make when you get started in the direct investing world is your mindset. Now, to be successful as an investor, you first have to start thinking like an investor. That is, at its core, investing is not about making money. Investing is the art of avoiding loss. Adopting this mindset is the first step. The next step is looking for investment opportunities that fit for you. This is where the real work happens on the investment side. There are some specific things that you can do to make investment decisions quicker and more confidently. This begins by defining some targets and criteria for yourself around what kind of investments are the best fit for you. To get started on that front, look at your experience. What is your background? What industry knowledge or expertise and experience gives you an unfair advantage in an industry, business, or a market? Answering those questions creates your first filter and will provide you some guidance on where to look for investment opportunities. When it comes to evaluating investment deals, look at these attributes in a business. Number one, look for companies that operate using a business model you understand in an industry you have experience or understand. All businesses operate in one of two business models. They're either differentiated, they provide a better product or service at a higher price, or they're cost competitive. They compete by providing a product or service at the lowest cost to customers. Both business models are viable and definitely work. As a side note, at Transfigure, we prefer businesses that operate using a differentiated model as margins are typically higher and more consistent. The important thing to evaluate is that the managers and operators understand the model that they're using for their business and apply strategies that are consistent with that business model for their company. That is, if the business has a strong brand and focuses on providing a superior product using a differentiated model, they should not have to rely on substantial discounting to grow their business by applying a cost-competitive strategy. So make sure you understand the strategies they are using and ensure they align with the business model. The other factor here is leveraging your industry knowledge and experience. This allows you to have more insights into the trends and the future of the industry or the market. Focus on understanding or applying your knowledge and expertise to determine where the industry is heading. What disruptive changes are likely on the horizon? What opportunities does this create? How can you partner with operators to recognize value from these changes? Now, investing in businesses or industries you are very familiar with is a balancing act. You need to be careful because it can create blind spots from being overly familiar with a business or industry, especially when it comes to identifying disruptive changes. So make sure to watch out for that. Okay, number two, look for businesses that possess a sustainable competitive advantage. These are businesses that have the ability to change prices with minimal impact or sales or revenue. An easy example would be looking at brands like Coke or Nike. They have a loyal customer base and they can change or charge a premium for their products and change prices relatively easily. You're looking for advantages that help the business reinforce their position within an industry or a market. They do not have to be the same size as Coke or Nike, and you can find smaller businesses within certain markets that operate with similar competitive advantages. The point is, look for businesses that are considered best in class within the markets you're exploring. It's common for small businesses to possess that kind of advantage when it comes to customer service and attention because the owners are involved on a day-to-day basis. So it is critical to examine closely with smaller or growing businesses. Make sure the market or competitive advantage is not driven by the work of just one person at the company. If it is, that's not necessarily bad. Just look for a clear path for them to expand this advantage beyond just that one person. Okay, number three, look for competent and honest management teams. Look for a management team that has a partnership view with investors. This ensures that interests are aligned with all levels. Here are some things that you can look for that are proven indicators of an honest and competent management team. Clear and accurate communication, exhibited partnership mindset, solid understanding of where value is created and captured. That is, they have a firm grasp on the unit economics, staff and team dynamics and skills, and competitive differentiation, and the strategies that pull everything together. Look for managers that are respected by their employees. Good managers and operators should have an accurate understanding of the market landscape, competitors, market influences and drivers, client and customer demands and needs, and shifts in the industry to prepare the company for. At the end of the day, you want to look for people that you want to work with or hang out with. After all, you are potentially going to be stuck with them for quite some time. Number 4, look for businesses that are available at a fair price. The deal needs to make sense financially. Make sure to look at all these factors. Return structure. Is there alignment between investor and operator interests? Or does the structure itself create a conflict? Operating financial needs. Are the projections realistic and achievable? How do you know? Investment strategy. Is this a hold for cash flow, or are you investing and counting on some kind of increase in value to sell later and recognize your returns off the back end? What potential shifts or risks could limit or reduce this strategy? Make sure the valuation is within a normal range. Does the valuation align with typical market expectations? Is the valuation based on previous performance or unrealized opportunity and maybe overly optimistic projections? Understand how the value of the specific business is created in order to understand the whole value of the business, considering the history and prospects. What exceptions to valuation and the baselines around that can be justified? Do the financials, historical or projections actually make sense? In conclusion, we find it very important to remember to trust your instincts. Even after you consider all the factors we've just covered, if the deal does not feel right, trust that your instincts are correct. If you can't explain it, trust your gut. On the other side, be careful justifying investments that do not pass some of these tests, but you do have a strong feeling they'll be successful anyway. This can be dangerous territory for investors. Finally, if you're looking for direct investment opportunities or partners, we'd love to connect. At Transfigure, we're looking for investment opportunities and evaluating deals all the time. If you'd be interested in meeting and learning about some of the investment opportunities that we have and maybe possibly partnering with us, we'd love to hear from you. So make sure to connect with us.